They tell you to be loyal, to work hard, to earn trust. But no one warns you that loyalty is the currency of fools, spent freely by the desperate and exploited by the powerful. Your boss smiles at your devotion while sharpening the knife. Behind your back, do you really think your sacrifice will be rewarded? That your hours, your silence, your obedience will one day be repaid in kind? Machiavelli would laugh. He understood something modern minds have forgotten. Loyalty is not a bond. It's a leash, and those in power only tighten it when they sense weakness. Your boss doesn't want you empowered. He wants you dependable, predictable, controllable. A loyal dog is useful. A questioning man is dangerous. Look around. Who rises faster? The quiet workhorse. Or the cunning manipulator who knows when to flatter, when to vanish, and when to strike. The latter understands the game. The former becomes a footnote. You were taught that loyalty earns safety. But in the world Machiavelli saw, and the one you live in, safety is an illusion bought with illusion, and the loyal are often the first to fall when power shifts. So ask yourself, who benefits from your loyalty? And more importantly, what would happen if you withdrew it? You still believe that talent will save you. That effort will speak louder than politics. That merit is the measure of your worth. But what if I told you that the system was never built to reward merit, only to harvest it? In Machiavelli's world, as in yours, power is not earned through virtue but seized through strategy. And the workplace is not a sanctuary of fairness, but a theater of deception. The most competent man is rarely the one in charge. It's the one who knows how to perform competence, how to be seen. Perception, not substance, wins the throne. Have you ever wondered why incompetents rise while the capable remain invisible? Why those who talk most often say the least, yet still get promoted? Because they understand the dark truth. Success is not about doing the job. It's about positioning yourself as indispensable, even if it means stepping over corpses to get there. Your boss isn't watching your work. He's watching your allegiance, your usefulness, your silence, your willingness to maintain his illusion of authority, even when he bleeds the company dry. So what do? You learn the art of appearances. You play their game better than they do. You stop worshiping merit and start using it. Not as a virtue, but as a weapon, cold, precise, invisible. Because in a world ruled by perception, the truth is irrelevant. What matters is what they believe about you. You think flattery is pathetic, dishonest, a tool for the sycophant, but that's exactly what they want you to believe, because the moment you master it, you become a threat. Machiavelli understood this better than any modern executive handbook. People in power don't want truth. They crave affirmation. Your boss doesn't need your honesty. He needs his ego fed, his worldview confirmed, his authority mirrored back to him in your eyes. And if you can do that convincingly, you gain leverage. But this is not about selling your soul. It's about controlling perception. Flattery, when used consciously, becomes psychological warfare. You praise what he thinks is genius, while subtly steering decisions. You inflate his image just enough to hide your moves in the shadows, and when the time comes, you exploit his blind spots, the very ones you helped build. Ask yourself, who holds the real power and the one who commands, or the one who shapes the commander's confidence? Flattery is not weakness. It is camouflage. It is seduction. It is the art of making kings dance, while believing they lead the waltz. Learn to master it, and no door remains locked. You crave recognition, praise, a seat at the table. But in the world of power, visibility is a currency more dangerous than and just as volatile. Machiavelli would warn you. Those who shine too brightly become targets. Your boss may smile at your brilliance, but beneath that smile lies calculation. Because every ambitious subordinate is a threat, and every threat must be neutralized. Have you ever wondered why the moment you rise, the gossip starts? Why your ideas suddenly become his initiatives? Why the credit you deserve disappears in the fog of team effort? It's not miscommunication, it's suppression. In a court of power, to be noticed is to be measured. and then dismantled. The wise don't fight for the spotlight. They control it. They know when to speak and when to vanish. They appear useful, but never essential. Present, but never dominant. They build quietly, in shadows, while others burn, under the weight of attention. So stop begging to be seen. Start choosing when and how you are seen, because the brightest flame attracts the most hands and the sharpest knives. You want to be trusted. You want to be seen as honest, reliable, transparent. But in a world shaped by power, trust is not a virtue. It's a form of control. Machiavelli understood that to survive among wolves, you must master the art of trust not as a bond, but as a tool. Not to give, but to engineer. Because the one who controls who is trusted controls what is believed. Think, how often has your boss trusted someone only to discard them later? How often have you witnessed trust used as bait, a way to draw someone in before the fall? This is no accident. Genuine trust is rare in power games. What exists instead is strategic vulnerability, pretending to open up, to invite confidence, to create bonds, only to pull strings from behind them. When you seem trustworthy, people speak more, reveal more, lower their guard, and when they do, you win. This isn't manipulation, it's survival. Because if you don't craft trust, someone else will, and it will be your downfall, not theirs. So stop aiming to be trusted for who you are. Start being trusted for what you allow them to think you are. You've been taught to speak up, to contribute, to add value. But in the language of power, silence speaks far louder than words, and it speaks with precision. Machiavelli knew, the one who talks too much reveals too much. Every word is a risk, every opinion, a potential weapon in someone else's hands. In court, in politics, in boardrooms, those who talk to fill the air often dig their own graves. Your boss is listening, not to learn, but to gather, to assess, to catalog your thoughts, your weaknesses, your ambitions. And once you've spoken, you cannot take it back. So what if you said less? What if you turned silence into strategy? The quiet man is unreadable, unpredictable, dangerous. While others spill secrets to gain approval, he watches, calculates. He doesn't rush to impress. He waits for the perfect moment to strike with a sentence that shifts the entire room. In the silence, you become a mirror. Others reveal themselves to you, and by the time they realize you've learned everything, it's already too late. Speak when it changes the game. Otherwise, let them drown in their noise. You admire him. The way he commands, delegates, controls the room. You tell yourself, if I stay close, I'll rise like he did. But Machiavelli would slap that illusion from your hands. Your boss is not grooming you. He's grooming you as a mirror, a reflection that flatters his legacy while posing no threat to it. The moment your potential eclipses his shadow, you become inconvenient, dangerous, disposable. Think how many bright minds have been guided, only to be quietly stalled. How many times have you watched capable people get promoted sideways, drowned in praise but stripped of real power? That's not mentorship. That's management by castration. And you're next. He may offer advice. Open doors. But notice, they're always the safe doors. The ones that don't lead to his seat. That don't challenge his dominance. Your growth is allowed, but only within a cage he can control. So what do? You play along. Smile. Absorb. But never mistake proximity for loyalty. Your real ascent begins when you stop seeking approval and start building power independently, quietly, ruthlessly. Because if your boss is the gatekeeper, don't wait for the key. Burn the gate. You hesitate. You feel guilt. You tell yourself, I can't do that. It's wrong. But in the theater of ambition, morality is not a compass. It's a muzzle. Machiavelli never flinched at this truth. The higher the stakes, the less space there is for conscience. Your boss doesn't operate by ethical codes. He operates by outcomes. He doesn't ask, is this fair? He asks, will this work? And while you debate what's right, he's already moved the pieces. You see, the system rewards performance, not purity. You weren't hired for your virtue, you were hired for your value. And the moment your virtue interferes with that value, you become a liability. So when you're passed over, undermined, or sacrificed to politics, don't ask why. Ask who benefited. That's the only morality that matters in power. This isn't an invitation to become cruel. It's a revelation. Stop playing by rules no one else respects. Your integrity means nothing in a room ruled by results. The question is not whether you'll play dirty, but whether you'll survive while others do. In the world of power, morality is a costume. Wear it when needed. Remove it when necessary. You want to prove yourself, to show you're better, smarter, more capable. But direct competition is for amateurs, for those who haven't yet understood the architecture of power. Machiavelli warned, never strike where they expect. Never fight by the rules they wrote. Your boss thrives in the current system because he built it. Compete on his terms and you've already lost. He knows the shortcuts, he knows the judges, he wrote the narrative. Your excellence only makes him sharpen his knife. So don't challenge him head on. Redesign the board. Create alliances in the shadows. Undermine his influence not with confrontation, but with quiet erosion. Feed doubt. Plant alternatives. Build a network that owes loyalty to you, not him. While he fights for recognition, fight for control. Let him play the hero, while you become the author of the story. You don't need his position. You need his power base, his blind spots, his routines. Learn them, exploit them. And when the time is right, pull the rug, not the sword, because power isn't taken in battle. It's taken in silence with precision, and no witnesses. You've watched, learned, adapted, and now you think you're ready to take control. But be warned, power is not inherited. It is seized, quietly, cunningly, and never with permission. Machiavelli's final lesson is the most brutal. The moment they fear you, you've already won. Not through aggression, not through shouting, but through quiet inevitability. You must become the one they sense but can't predict, the one whose smile hides intention, whose silence makes the room uneasy, whose presence alone reshapes the conversation. Your boss expects rebellion. That's why he's prepared to crush it, but he won't expect disappearance. Patience, strategy. He won't expect the friendly face in the corner to become the architect of his obsolescence. And when the collapse comes, when his influence fades, his alliances fracture, and his name no longer commands fear, he'll look around and see nothing, because you were never his enemy. You were his replacement. This is not about revenge. It's about transcendence. To outsmart the system, you must first stop being part of it. Step outside, redesign your role, rewrite the rules, and let others chase the shadow you left behind. Outsmart your boss? No, outgrow him.